The show was pretty great. I watched it all last night and was surprised by the like emotional impact it had, which was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting all the like the kids around the world and everything. How did you get involved with the project? Because you came from movies and documentaries and stuff. So
Thank you. I appreciate you enjoy, and I'm glad that you did like it because it's a very important passion project for us and for me and for Jeremy. So I know Jeremy for many years. We're friends, and we've been working together on different opportunity projects before, more related to branding things. And I was involved with the Wind River. I have been working with him on different things. So when he called me 3 years ago, almost 4, and he mentioned about this idea that he had it in the middle of the night that I was in Europe, I was like, okay, that's cool. He was like, I'm start buying this vehicle, but I mean, I think we should do something great. We should have community. Jeremy is incredible and he has a great soul, and he always loved kids and helping people. So when he mentioned, I was like, yeah, but how can we do? I mean, how can we change those things? So he was like, yeah, we should do something that brings like a fresh breathe to people that don't have things. I don't like to trash stuff. I don't want to do this. So when we start talking about the opportunity, I was okay, let's start, let's put it together. And it took a little bit longer for us to come up with the concept and the idea. We engaged a couple of creative friends. We engaged some other kind of writer creators. And then it took shape. And the hardest part was then identify which vehicle for which organization. And then, we started, it was a little bit of a process because then the pandemic hit and then we had to stop a little bit. We didn't know how move forward, but we didn't stop. I mean, Jeremy is motivated, is very passionate about it. I love, everything about giving back to kids and community. And so for me, it was really emotional since the beginning. I was very impressed by the overall idea, and it took a shape step by step.
That's pretty awesome. I didn't realize it went back that far. I was going to lead into my next question about how long it actually took to do, because in every episode they're like, we have 2 to 4 weeks to make these cars or trucks like change. But I was going to say, was shooting like a year, 2 years, or was it just back to back?
Last year. I mean, the idea started probably 3.5 years ago, but then he was busy, of course, with Okay. And then we start thinking about how to engage the organization and which vehicle. I mean, yes, as you can probably saw in the episode, he had that massive parking lot with more than 200 vehicles. So identify the right vehicle was the hardest part. And then which community, and then do we do one in US only, or we do international? So it took a little bit of a time, and then we start pitching the network, and then we realized the best partner was Disney for us for everything about Jeremy World from the Marvel side, and Disney for kids and community and the wider audience. It wasn't a better partner for us. So, but the production actually happened all last year. In between the pandemic, we had to stop a couple of times because COVID hit us or hit the crew, and then we had to delay a couple of process. But the idea went back few years ago. It wasn't an easy package because, of course, it's never easy. But that was a little bit more. It took a little bit longer for many reasons, but we finally end up with with Disney and the international approach.
Was it different for you as a producer compared to narrative stuff where it's more like this unscripted reality show kind of thing, as opposed to like, oh, let's go shoot a movie and then be done?
It is, Justin. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult because it's my first unscripted, and of course it's always a learning process. But I think when you have the producer skill, it doesn't really matter if it's scripted or not scripted. This is a little bit more on the shoulder of our great showrunner, Patrick, in terms of everything that happened. And of course, it has a little bit more unpredictable element because everything can happen in the scripted, which is also the greatest part, because it's also the nicest part when you don't know what's going to happen. But I can tell you, every step we had, it was driven by this incredible passion that Jeremy has as a leader. And for me, the producer skill, I have this double head. I'm a marketing expert and I'm a producer. So I call myself expert, but I'm nothing. But it's a different type of stuff that I try to bring, also that component to what I do, which I think it's important because my background is in marketing, but then I start producing many years ago, but I try always to combine marketing and production skills that I think apply to everything, because I mean, at the end of the day, if it's, an IP, is whatever. It could be a music video, it could be a movie, it could be, a series, a reality. You have to bring always, your effort to be patient with everybody, to be always available. And I think this team was incredible. Because the very tight time we had to produce, it was really one of the hardest things, because as you saw, Jeremy, we didn't have a lot of time, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and the crew has been amazing. So as a producer, one of the hardest part for me was to work close with Patrick, the showrunner, to identify the crew that was skilled enough to do the job in that time frame. And also they had a great charisma and vibe with Jeremy, because as you saw, there is a family over there. It's they live together almost 24 hours a day to achieve the results. And everybody was so beautiful, driven by the goal to give this to kids. So I think I love it, and I really hope to do more, even if I'm already on 2 other theatrical production right now. But I think it's been really a great a new opportunity for me to dedicate it to unscripted. I don't know if this gives you an answer, but yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, it did. It was great. It also, like, as you mentioned, they were kind of a family. It was really refreshing to see that them doing all this for kids and everything. There was like no internal drama. There was issues that popped up, but it wasn't like, get out of my way and let me do this. It was very like wholesome and uplifting to like watch everyone do it.
In theatrical, in theatrical projects, you usually don't see the drama that happened behind the scene and all the stuff that happened in the trailer when, actors, go back to the trailer. You don't, in this case, you probably had a feeling of some time of tension and stress. I mean, working with such a very tight deadline can be really challenging. But I can tell you, I mean, the bond that we build, and I mean, I got text message every week from everybody. It's really like a family. And, I really try to build with them a very good relation. I try to be as much as possible present during the shooting. I think I was every day except for India, COVID as well. So it's like, I couldn't go. So that was an incredible experience. And they're beautiful human beings besides great professionals.
That's amazing. That was really like, you could feel it kind of like while watching it, that
which episode,
even if it was stressful because they only had a week or like 3 days, but it was got to get done.
Is there an episode you like more? Is there any specific episode that you like more?
The India episode hit pretty hard, as well as Mexico. One of my like childhood friends is Mexican, and like he had to go back to Mexico for a long time, like 10 years or so. And then he was living down there, and then he would come back and like tell me stories about like life down there. So I was like, oh, I don't think he lived near Cabo, but not like around there. But yeah, so it was, that one hit pretty hard for me. And then the India with the water and how bad it was. And then like, just sending out a water filtration system for like the kids in the different villages and everything. I was like, wow, if they could make that mass produced almost, it'd be amazing.
That was really challenging for us, and identify that organization and work through process of approvals and all the challenge with the permits. It was the no-profit organization we work there is so active, and people really don't realize how important it is to have clean water. And we think it's a normal thing to have a clean water, but really the kids don't have water over there. They go home and they don't have it. They drink from, totally polluted water they find on the street. And it's very sad when we start having, the first conversation with the team over there. We start understanding that, we are so lucky, and there are so many people that don't have the same, the same lucky that we have. And water, it's something that you think it's something you should have no matter what, like food, especially for kids. So we are deeply moved by them. When Anil Kapoor is an incredible and is an incredible friend, and now is a great support of everything in India, and he has been really helpful in guide us and drive us to what was all the process in India. So it's hopefully we'll keep doing stuff in India. It's an incredible culture, beautiful people, full of life and love. I mean, we love every organization we work with, but as you can see, the difference between the other community in India is like it's something for life health.
Right. Yeah.
And it's something we leave it as assumption, but it's not so it's not so normal in many places to have.
It was impactful for that, especially like seeing how the kids had to, and then Jeremy talking to the people there and then asking about like, is the water from their home? And it's like same water.
Yeah.
It's like all we have. That was, you kind of mentioned how you were gonna hopefully keep working with the organizations. Is there plans for another season? Because 4 episodes was small, but it was also like a very nice, compact like thing.
It's we really hope, we finger crossed. Hopefully the audience will appreciate it. Hopefully we'll give a good love back. And Jeremy's all motivated, is ready to go. We'll keep in say, let's go. It's I mean, since the week after the accident, he's been asking me, let's do it. It's like, we have to get season 2. But we have buses, we have vehicles, we are ready to go. We have the infrastructure ready to go. So hopefully Disney will, receive enough love from viewers and audience to be able to do season 2. But we really hope so, because we would love to bring more and more. I mean, we have 200 vehicles. We can do 200 episodes easily. He's ready to go. I mean, he's asking me to go scouting already, and I'm already doing it because it's not easy to package those episodes and work with the organization, with the legal, the abilities. It's a lot. I mean,
I can imagine the permits alone, like the music studio for Chicago. I was thinking like, dang, the permits for the car and then like storage, and I was just thinking about all the like logistics that you probably had to go through with the cities and the countries and everything. Must have been insane.
Been a little bit, a long process, but I can tell you, in every city, in every location, in every country, we receive so much support from city organization, the mayor of Reno, the mayor of Chicago, the border in Mexico, the local in Cabo San Lucas, the local team in India. I mean, all the government, all the organization have been supporting. They all appreciate what we're doing. It's not easy to see the face of a big celebrity like Jeremy kind of put his hands on the ground and his foot on the ground and helping people. And you saw he's really emotionally involved. He's really engaging with this community. The only thing he cares is to share somehow. He always says the lucky that he has, and we all have, with people that have not the same life. And especially if we can give with a little contribution of future to other people and share some love, it's all about it. I mean, when we went to scout in Chicago and see these kids, and also it was still pandemic, so some of them didn't go to school, some of them don't have access to anything. Those organizations really help, like Chicago Big Brothers Big Sister, they help young kids in giving them a life, giving them an opportunity that probably they don't have in the family. So for us to see that, and brings a little bit of joy through like a mobile dual studio or dancing studio, and give them opportunity not to end up in a very difficult life decision that could be anything bad. It's the Chicago was very moving, because we saw those kids. We went into some of those neighborhoods, we went into some of those like no safe place, and see the smile and and the kids like lighting up. You see like the Avenger star, Hawkeye coming, and we were arriving away at the music place and an instrument and guitar. It's a life change. I mean, you see so much love and so much that needs to be done to help, and there are too many people in the world that need help. So we really hope to do more and more and more. It sounds cheesy, but it's really what we've been doing. It's like, I hope
you could feel it.
I thank you. I hope so, because that's the message. We never wanted that feels like, really, guys. I mean, it's been done with the love. Jeremy bought this vehicle on his own. No one asked him to do it, and those are his vehicles. So he really invests his own, time and money and things. He's obsessed with stuff like this. So, that's something fun, and it's contagious.
Yeah, I can imagine. My last question for you will be basically a reverse on your question to me. Did you have a favorite episode or moment or anything?
I mean, I love them all. That's for sure. I don't know if there is one that I prefer more than the other, because in a different way, they touch me. I'm very sensitive to kids, and each one had a different yeah, type of, feeling for me. So I don't really have just one that I prefer more than the other. So I mean, I have to be honest with you, because my background is like, I was a dancer when I was kid. So see this kid dancing, it was so fun in Mexico. Different vibe. I'm Italian, so the Latin kind of vibe, kind of, it's very. But the kids in India were like that is something that you kind of hold your breath and realize every day how lucky we are. And I mean, it's really hard for me to say the big brothers, big sister, the mentorship. Now I'm kind of applying to be part of the big brothers, big sister, everything. It's like, and I think that the biggest lesson that I learned, that as many bad things happen in this world, there is so many good things that can be, as much as you try to share positive vibe, there is so much to do. And if people understand that there is a small contribution that could be done by each of us in the world can be a better place. And it's not just to say, but I believe that, this message could be spread, and everybody can do in a small thing what we've been trying to do as a message.
Yeah, I love that message, and it came across, and I'm glad you guys are doing this, because at first I was like, what is this show? I didn't understand. I thought it was something completely different. So when I watched it, I was like, oh, okay, I get it now. Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. So thank you. It was great.
Austin, I appreciate. Are you based in LA?
Yes, I am.
So I hope we can see you at the premiere.
Yeah, hopefully. I would love to be there.